Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the Ncwlife Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And after starting out with lots of clouds, some fog, and even some light snow this morning, the snow gave way to rain showers here in the Wenatchee Valley this afternoon. And that rain really melted a lot of the snow, at least that we had here in the valley part of the Wenatchee Valley. Upper elevations, lots of snow. We'll talk more about that, but that was our weather scene today, and we do have lots of mountain snow to tell you about. A winter storm warning is in effect for the Cascades, where up to 3 feet of snow is possible in some locations down near Paradise. Also Stevens Pass, a couple of feet of snow possible. Mountain passes this afternoon were very treacherous to travel on, with lots of snow on both Snoqualmie and Stevens. Blewett Pass as well, some icy road conditions. And after this system passes through, we're going to see some windy conditions. In fact, here in the Wenatchee area, we could see wind gusts around 20 miles an hour. Ellensburg, as always, will be a little bit higher than that at 23 miles an hour, and also some windy conditions up near Chelan. And that's just a break in our weather until we see a lot more storm systems move our way over the next 4 or 5 days. And we'll talk more about that coming up in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Chelan County commissioners say they're getting closer to finalizing next year's budget. Rock Island is one of 17 rural Washington towns to receive over $10 million in grants. That was announced this morning. And the town of Pateros christened its new domestic water system today. But first, we begin tonight. Douglas County PUD commissioners have approved the sale of 2 acres of land located near the Rapid Switch Yard in Rock Island to Douglas County Fire District 2. The sale price totals $131,000. Chief Dave Baker says a new fire station is on schedule for development to replace the existing Station 3 in Rock Island.
Well, the timeline is going to be shortly after we get moving on Station 4, which is the new station out by the Odebastion Bridge. It's going to be located on Northwest 35th and Northwest Cascade. We are getting ready, hopefully this winter, we will go out to bid on that property. As soon as that's completed, we will be spooling up the Rock Island property in development and design. So I would anticipate late next year we could be going out to bid for the Rock Island station once we get everything rolling with the Station 4.
As we mentioned, the sale price totaled $131,000. Douglas County District 2 commissioners are scheduled to finalize the sale when they meet Wednesday night. Chelan County commissioners say they're getting closer to finalizing next year's budget. But according to Commissioner Kevin Overbay, closing a $1 million shortfall will likely require tapping in to reserve funds.
It's quite possible we may have to dig into the reserves on this. You know, we got some projections this morning from the auditor with regards to some sales tax revenues that are actually trending almost a little bit better than what we had anticipated for last year. We'll see how that works itself out. In addition to the expenditures that we have from our departments are a little less than what we had budgeted for last year. And so as this starts to vet itself out over the course of the next month or so, we'll actually have a better idea where those dollars are at. But for right now, it's looking like we may have to dig into the reserves just a little bit.
Commissioners also say they're seriously considering changes to the current management structure at the jail, as well as other upgrades that have been requested by Interim Jail Director Bill Larson.
You know, we'll be making a decision soon with regards to how we're going to move forward on that. The key thing that we're looking at right now is Bill has requested 2 chief positions. Basically, it would be Chief of Operations and Chief of Administration, which would afford us the opportunity to delve into some of the things that he's identified of some shortfalls that are there. And so we'll be looking at that and taking that into consideration.
Larson's request followed grievances voiced by jail corrections staff concerning overcrowding and security. Commissioners are scheduled to adopt the 2019 budget before the end of the month. Well, Rock Island is one of 17 rural Washington towns to receive over $10 million in grants announced this morning by the State Department of Commerce. Rock Island will get $604,000 for wastewater treatment plant improvements and $24,000 for park improvement plans. 19 projects were selected from 31 grant applications requesting almost $18 million. The grants will improve rural water, sewer, streets, and fire protection systems and will support affordable housing and community planning. Othello will also receive $750,000 for a new water reservoir. Well, the town of Pateras christened its new domestic water system today. The spigots were turned on at 9 a.m. Officials say residents should have water pressure through the transition. You may see little or no immediate change in service. They say water pressures will increase by about 20 psi and water leaks may develop due to the increased pressure. Also, they advise that sediment may break loose in the lines, causing dark water, clogged fixtures, and clogged meters. If you have a water emergency, please call City Hall at 923-2571. And if you have black or dark water, turn all water off and run cold water in your tub until it runs clean. Then remove screens on sinks and run till it's clean. Well, coming up next, slick road conditions led to a 4-vehicle wreck early this morning at the intersection of 10th Street and Kentucky Avenue in East Wenatchee. And then around 11 o'clock this morning, a 2-car accident held up traffic at the intersection of Chelan and Yakima right outside our Ncwlife building. And a Wenatchee school bus was rear-ended by an SUV Monday afternoon. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the Ncwlife Evening News.
Come find your holiday gifts at Antique Mall at Cashmere this holiday season. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone, from coin enthusiasts to avid collectors. For do-it-yourselfers, this is the place to find your next repurposing project. What a great way to make your holiday gifts for someone special, using your keen eye to make something old and new again. Discover your next holiday gift in the Antique Mall at Cashmere. Stop on by today.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, you know, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging in Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Welcome back. In another news, slick road conditions led to a 4-vehicle wreck early this morning at the intersection of 10th Street and Kentucky Avenue in East Wenatchee. One driver slid on the snow, leading to the chain reaction crash. One of the drivers was struck by another vehicle as they got out of their own car. That according to Officer Joe Hinkle of the East Wenatchee Police Department. But there were no serious injuries. Hinkle said that location is a dangerous one in bad weather.
It's a hill on both ends. It peaks at the top at the corner at 10th and North Kentucky. And it's just a bad spot. You can have icing conditions there, and then down at 10th and Eastmont not have them. So just that difference in elevation is enough to give you the conditions that you have there sometimes. It was just very slick this morning. You had a temperature below freezing, and I think there was a little bit of rain last night with snow. And then you get cars that are traveling on compact roadways, and you get the conditions that you have. So it's just important for people to slow down when they're driving in conditions like this.
Hinkle advises drivers to be extra cautious when there is snow or ice on the roadways. Well, around 11 o'clock this morning, a 2-car accident held up traffic at the intersection of Chelan and Yakima right outside our Ncwlife building. The 4-door sedan was traveling on Chelan Avenue when it was T-boned on the passenger side of the car by an SUV traveling on Yakima Street. Following the collision, the SUV then veered toward Chelan County Fire District 1 building. No word on how the accident happened or who was at fault. Well, Ncwlife's Doug O'Brien shared this photo of a crash involving a Wenatchee school bus that was rear-ended by an SUV Monday afternoon. Police told reporters the accident happened on North Wenatchee Avenue around 3:30 in the afternoon. Spokesman Captain Edgar Reinfeld said a 14-year-old student on board was treated for neck and back pain, but other than that, luckily, there were no serious injuries. You're watching the Ncwlife Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the Ncwlife Evening News. Stay with us.
Eastern Washington. It's a great place to call home and a great time to own a home. It's the ideal place to lay down roots for your family and your future. Gisa Credit Union thinks Eastern Washington is a great place to own a home, too. That's why we offer all kinds of home loans with personal attention every step of the way. We're your home. For home loans, we're Gisa Credit Union.
I came here to CVCH because one of my friends referred me. When I met Dr. Jocelyn, she was just amazing. She connected with my son, and it meant so much to me. He opens up so quickly because she just sits there and plays with him. It really is like going to see a friend. It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted and respected. It just feels like home.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Welcome back to the Ncwlife Evening News. With December here and lots of new snow at area ski hills, in tonight's feature story, a look at life as a skier on Stevens Pass.
It's fun to load everybody up into the car and be able to go ski as a family. You know, that's the driver. I've been skiing with my kids since right after they could walk. None of my kids actually probably remember learning how to ski. You know, it's just something they've always done. It's a great connection to be able to have, is you're just out ripping around. And to be able to do that as they become adults has been awesome. And you've been able to get all of them together as a family, you know, I mean, honestly, that's why we moved here. And man, was it the right decision. It's where our kids grew up. You know, when we moved here, my oldest was 4. You know, they all skied pretty much every day. And to be able to grow up doing that, you can't ask for much more. Leavenworth kind of solidifies that whole piece. Bunch of families in here, same age kids. The feel of town as a local community is awesome. I started at Stevens Pass in 2000 and was there for 15 years. I really didn't do a whole lot of night skiing until I started at Stevens Pass. And I didn't really get it at first. But then once you hit that one night when it's snowing and there's not a lot of people there, you're like, oh my God, why does this not happen more? Like, why do more people not do this? Instead of having to be up there first thing in the morning, we'll roll up there at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, have dinner, ski late into the evening. It allows you to kind of space it out a bit. There's a good vibe at night, and there's nothing like it, especially on those nights when it's magic. It's something to have. I spent the first part of my career basically skiing and drinking beer, and now I look at the second part of my career as basically drinking beer and skiing. And so luckily they kind of go hand in hand. It really hasn't changed too much, but I feel lucky that I'm able to do it.
Time now for a check of your local weather forecast, and good news for Stevens Pass. A lot more snow has fallen there today. In fact, chains are required on Stevens and Snoqualmie passes right now, where a winter storm warning is still in effect until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. We could see 1 to 3 feet of snow in portions of the Cascades. Let's take a look right now outside our weather window before we get to our local forecast. And this was what we experienced most of the afternoon today, with low clouds, heavy rain at times, and then some misty rain, some snow mixed in, but it was a pretty good rain event this afternoon, still coming down out there, and that really kept our temperatures down too with those low clouds. We thought we'd once again get into the upper 30s, but today's high temperature only 31 degrees, just slightly below 33 where we should be for this time of year. We started off on the mild side. We just didn't warm up that much. 24 is our normal low temperature. 50 degrees, our record high back in 1974, and a couple years before that in 72. A record low of 4 degrees. We have picked up another tenth of precipitation the past 24 hours. That now gets us to 6.49 inches for the year. Sunrise this morning was at 7:38, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:10. And I'll tell you, folks, there is a lot to get to in this surface loop, with at least 3 or 4 storms headed our way over the next 4 or 5 days. Let's jump to noon tomorrow. We'll see increasing clouds, breezy conditions. We talked about that being a possibility tonight. It will linger into Wednesday with winds about 10 to 20 miles an hour at times, and then another storm system on Thursday. This will be our situation early in the morning on Thursday. A 50% chance for rain mixed with snow showers as this flow comes right into central Washington. Some heavy snow once again for the Cascades on Thursday. That will go down by Friday afternoon to about a 40% chance of rain mixed with snow, and that's from our next storm system just off the coast of British Columbia. It slides just a little bit southwest, and then on Saturday, an even better chance for some precipitation, an 80% chance of snow. That will be at 11 p.m. on Saturday, 1 p.m. on Sunday. We're still going to see lots of precipitation, an 80% chance for snow mixed with rain showers right through Washington state. That will linger into Monday as well, with a 60% chance of more rain mixed with snow. And it's going to go past that, folks. It looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all next week, will be a wet one with rain mixed with snow. The good news, temperatures will warm up into the upper 30s to near 40. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. And tonight, we'll drop down to a mild 32 degrees, increasing clouds and breezy tomorrow. But look at that high possibly. Will we get there? That will be the question on Wednesday. 42 our high, 40 for Thursday, a 50% chance of precip. That goes down to 40% chance on Friday, and then it just gets wetter as we move into the upcoming weekend. Increasing clouds, late snow and rain on Saturday, an 80% chance. Snow and rain a possibility on Sunday as well, with a high of 37. And then Monday, a 60% chance of rain, mostly cloudy. We'll stay mild, though, with a high Monday of 40 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the Ncwlife Evening News continues right after this.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
I am Dan Coots. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got news, we got sports, we got weather, we got obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Those actresses from the 70s that I had a huge crush on: Lindsay Wagner, Jane Russell, Meryl Streep, Barbara Bush. Wanted to wish her a happy birthday. It gave me an excuse to throw her picture up on my show. Exclusive distributors of Life Water, now available in the shatterproof plastic bottle.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, mornings at 7 o'clock on the Ncwlife channel.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
Well, a happy Tuesday to you, and happy Tuesday it is for Seahawks fans. Seahawks have shown that they can win all types of games this season. They won a high-scoring shootout a few weeks ago at Carolina, and then last night, a defensive game against Minnesota on Monday Night Football. While the final score was 21-7, doesn't depict how the game went. The Seahawks defense pitched a 58-minute shutout, while the offense couldn't find the end zone until the final 3 minutes of the game. Seattle held the Vikings to 77 yards rushing on the night, and quarterback Kirk Cousins passed for 70 of his 220 yards on Minnesota's final drive when the game was in hand. Seahawks coach Pete Carroll says he loves those kinds of defensive wins.
Well, that was a classic defensive ball game all night long. We had a lot of respect for this team that we're playing because they're so good all the way around. And they showed it was really hard for us to get the ball down the field and scoring points. And we were fortunate in playing a really good game on defense. Had some great stops tonight, some just classic short yard stops. And down there on the goal line, Bradley, I guess, gets in the way on the fourth down play in the end zone. Just some beautiful football, and not the kind of football that everybody loves, but the kind of football that we love. And I bet Coach Zim, he thinks the same thing. It was a tough defensive day.
Seattle rushed for 42 times, 214 yards, led by Chris Carson with 22 carries and 90 yards with a touchdown. Russell Wilson struggled through the air, completing only 10 of 20 passes for 70 yards, his lowest total as a pro. Coach Carroll said credit should go to the offensive line and their trio of running backs.
And let me say this too about that you know, these guys had only been giving up 90 yards a game rushing, and we rushed for over 200 a day, and that's something to be proud of. It was hard to do, and our guys knocked it out. Guys up front, the guys running, all three running backs had good averages and ran well, and we had pretty good mix. And whenever you run it 40-something times, you ought to win. So that was pretty good. You're gonna look at the numbers and see Russ. You know, Russ was 10 for 20 or something like that. But when you add it all up, 42 runs and 10 completions, that's that 50 we're looking for. And so it worked out just fine tonight. Really was just. I think when a step away from it, it's really about the defense tonight. I love the way they played. They played so hard and so spirited.
Now, a controversial play came in the fourth quarter, drew a lot of attention when Bobby Wagner leaped over the line of scrimmage to block a field goal. It appeared he put his hands down on his teammates for leverage in doing so, which should have been penalized. Carroll said it was something they'd practiced all week long.
I don't know. It was almost poetic after last week's game that Bobby would get the chance to block the field goal, and he pulled it off and did it. It was just an incredible play. I think they're going to talk about it. We practiced it all week with Bobby jumping over the guys, never touched anybody. I don't know what happened in the game, but that's the way he was doing. He was able to clear the line of scrimmage without touching anybody, and that was the plan. And very few people could do that, but he had pulled it off beautifully in the week, during the week, and so that's what the officials called. But I know there's some controversy about that.
Seahawks get the win 21-7. They improve to 8-5 with a win. They'll be on the road at Santa Clara to face the 49ers Sunday at 1:05. Well, coming up on the prep sports schedule for today, first of all, in girls high school basketball, Cascade is at Chelan, while Waterville Mansfield plays host to Manson on the boys' side tonight. Well, it's the same matchups, just a little different time frame. It is the Kodiaks traveling to take on the Goats at 7:30. While the Trojans are on the plateau to face the Shockers also at 7:30. We'll be featuring Big Nine Wrestling tonight here on the NCW Life channel. I'll be Matt Side at Eastmont High School, where the Wildcats play host to the Moses Lake Chiefs. We'll take the airwaves at about 7 o'clock for that one. Wenatchee's on the road at Eisenhower tonight. Earlier in the day today, it was a battle for first place in the Big Nine at Eastmont Lanes. The Wenatchee Panthers currently second in the Big Nine standings at 5-1, hosting 6-0 Ike. Ladies started at 2 today. We'll have that results coming up tomorrow right here on the NCW Life channel. Cashmere basketball fans have something to look forward to next weekend, December 21st and 22nd. Cashmere High is hosting the first annual Crunch Pack Classic, featuring 4 of the top programs in the state and some of the best girls basketball players on the West Coast. It'll be Cashmere, Snohomish, WF West, and Mount Spokane. Bulldogs are a 1A school, while WF West is 2A. Snohomish and Mount Spokane are 3A schools. Games will feature Snohomish and WF West on Friday, December 21st at 6, followed by Cashmere and Mount Spokane at 7:30. Then on Saturday, it's Mount Spokane and Snohomish at 4, with Cashmere and WF West at 5:30. Admission $6 for adults, $4 for students and seniors. There you go. That's going to be some fun stuff coming up next weekend. That's sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCW Life channel. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. As we leave you tonight, for the 5th year in a row, Shop with Cops came to Hooked on Toys in Wenatchee earlier today. 40 students in the Wenatchee School District shopped with Cops today, and 40 from the Eastmont School District will shop on Thursday. NCWLife's Dan Kuntz tells us more.
For the 5th big year, Shop with a Cop is back. It involves the Wenatchee Police Department, the East Wenatchee Police Department, the Department of Fish and Wildlife. State Patrol is here, Chelan County Sheriff, Douglas County Sheriff. It's a pretty simple and a pretty cool little program. 4th graders from the Wenatchee and East Wenatchee area are participating not only today, but also on the 13th. Earlier today, we spoke with Administrative Bureau Commander Edgar Reinfeld from the Wenatchee Police Department.
So welcome to Shop with Cops 2018 here at Hooked on Toys in Wenatchee. This is the 5th year running for this event, and today we are having 40 students from Wenatchee School District, from all the elementary schools, come through, be paired with an officer to shop, and then have all their presents wrapped as we see behind us, and spread the holiday cheer. This is possible because of generous donations from the North Central Washington Foundation, North Central Washington Community Foundation, Foundation for Youth Fund. On Thursday this week, we'll have 40 students from Eastmont School District, also from the elementary schools, who are selected by the schools to come here and have this experience.
A splendid time was had for all, and it's important for these kids to know that law enforcement officers aren't the bad guys. They're not the bullies. Most of these times when these kids have to deal with law enforcement officers, it's oftentimes a negative situation. This is a great way for the youngsters in our valley to break the ice with a law enforcement officer by going shopping. It's a smart move. For NCW Life News, I'm Dan Kuntz.
Thank you, Dan. And remember, if you have a video of the day you'd like to see here on the NCW Life Evening News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
The NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life channel is your local TV station.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.
The physical therapists at Cascade Medical love the outdoors as much as you do. But sometimes where there's love, there's also pain. Let us help you get back to the activities that you love. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
I'm Jim Corcoran.
And I'm Ken Osborne.
And you're watching the NCW Life Channel.